On any public blockchain, you can simply put in a wallet address and monitor the activity of that wallet. So you can see what tokens are being sent or what assets are being moved and where those assets are being moved to. So you can see both the sender and the receiver. Now, while public blockchains are confidential in some sense, in the sense that you don't know who owns a wallet address, if somehow the identity of the owner of that wallet address becomes publicly available, you can essentially trace flows back to them. So you can know what they're buying, you can know who they're sending assets to or who they're sending tokens to, and essentially you can know everything about their financial activity on chain. But what if you wanted to make those flows private and you wanted to make it less visible to anyone tracking your activity on chain? That's where private payments come in. And in this video, we're going to be talking about private payments on Merkl Pay on the Etherlink chain. Now, while blockchains don't reveal the identity of a user who owns a wallet address, if you're able to trace the owner of a wallet address to an actual person or an entity, you could trace pretty much all of the flows that they do on a public blockchain. So you can know what assets they owed, you can know what assets are being moved, you can know where they're being moved to, and you can essentially start to build an understanding of how that company operates or how that entity operates. And sometimes this is not desirable behavior for large corporates or financial institutions or even some private individuals. Sometimes you want to be able to move assets on chain without anyone being able to link it back to you. And that's where private payments come in. Now, with Merkl Pay, you can move assets on Etherlink in a way that makes it very difficult for anyone to trace and for anyone to know what is being moved. This is important for large financial institutions because it allows them to remain auditable and compliant without actually revealing where funds are going. So if an asset is being moved on chain, the only people who should have access to who that asset is being moved to is any regulator or any stakeholder that the institution chooses to reveal the destination of these assets to. Movement of assets or data about movement of assets needs to be kept private to protect the users and the customers of private institutions. And in the rest of this tutorial, we'll look at how to use Merkl Pay to create your first private payment on the Etherlink chain. Okay, so now that we're on the Merkl Pay website, we're going to look at how to send tokens privately with Merkl Pay. So now I'm on pay.merkl.xyz, and the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect my wallet by clicking the Connect Wallet button. And then I'm going to get a choice of options to choose the wallet that I want to connect. For this tutorial, I'm simply going to connect my Rabbit wallet. That's just going to pop up on screen for me. I want to send some tokens from this wallet right here. So I'm just going to click connect, and that shows me I'm on Etherlink. It shows me that I've got some USDC tokens. And if I click on this drop down, I can also see all of the other tokens I've got on the Etherlink chain that I can send. But for this tutorial, I'm simply going to send some USDC tokens on Etherlink from my wallet. So I'm just going to send $1. I'm going to press 1 and I'm just going to click on send. As you can see, you can also request here. You could actually generate a payment link that you can send off to someone to send you some tokens on Merkl. But for this tutorial, we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to do send. So when I click send right here, it's going to ask me who I'm sending these tokens to. So I'm just going to paste my other wallet address in here. I can also put some reference and say, hey, this is for, for drinks. Then I'm going to click send payment, and it's going to ask me to approve this from my wallet. So I can simply click on the approve button to approve the transaction. It's going to ask me to sign the transaction. So I'm just going to go ahead to sign, confirm. And once that's confirmed, it's going to prompt me to do the final step, which is actually sending the payments. I'm just going to click on send right here. One more time, I'm going to sign the transaction, confirm, and the transaction has been created and the payment was sent. And if I click on view payment details, I can see what is going on here. So I can see my transaction was sent. Sometimes it takes about 2 hours for Merkl to verify the transaction, process it, and then make it available for distribution and then for collection. And you can see the payment here is private. You can see the reference, you can see the date. Now, once this is done, I can actually disconnect my wallet over here, and then I can click on connect wallet one more time and connect the recipient wallet on Etherlink. So click connect, and then I can go under collect to see what is available for me to collect. And when my payments are available, they're going to show up in here. So right now, those payments are not available. The last set of payments that I had that were available for collection have been collected. And I'm just going to wait a few hours to give Merkl some time to process this transaction and make it available for collection. All right, so it's now been about 6 hours since we sent the payment on Merkl. I'm going to try to see if the payments are now available for collection. So I've connected now with the recipient wallet. I'm going to go into collect. And now that I'm in collect, I can see that I've got one token to collect. that is worth $1. So if I click on this, it shows me what token it is. It's one USDC, which is exactly what we sent to the recipient's wallet. And I'm just going to click on collect right here. So once I click on collect, it's going to ask me to sign the transaction. And I'm going to pay just a tiny fraction of gas fees. So I'm going to click sign, confirm, and you can see now those payments have been collected into my wallet. And if I actually go into my wallet right here, so if I open up my Rabbit wallet, I can see that those payments have now come in. And if you can see as I go into my wallet history here, I can see that they were both claims from Merkl. And if I open that up on the Explorer, I can also see a little bit more about what's going on there. So you can see I interacted with Merkl's proxy distributor contract, and that is where the tokens were transferred to me from. So this is what makes the payments private. So if anyone was to go on the Explorer, they wouldn't be able to directly link these payments to my wallet. That's exactly what makes them private. So this is the benefit of private payments, basically making sure that token or asset movement is not publicly available to anyone looking at transactions on chain. In this video, we covered private payments on the blockchain, and we also looked at how to use Merkl Pay to make private payments on Etherlink.